Have you ever felt crushed by someone's disrespect and wondered how you could rise above it? Today, I will teach you how to handle disrespect like a Stoic. Maybe you're facing daily disrespect at work or feeling hurt by someone's words at home. I will help you transform those painful moments into opportunities for growth. By mastering the art of separating your emotions from your reactions, you can focus on what you can control and set respectful boundaries. If you don't learn these skills, you might find yourself stuck in a cycle of anger and frustration. This video is crucial for you to reclaim your peace and build a stronger, more resilient self. On building on understanding disrespect, you must first learn to identify its source. Perhaps someone close to you constantly belittles you, or a colleague undermines your efforts. Figuring out where the disrespect comes from is the first step in handling it effectively. This isn't just about knowing who is disrespecting you, but understanding why. Is it stemming from their own insecurities, stress, or perhaps a lack of understanding? By pinpointing the cause, you can better prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. This is crucial because if you don't understand the root of the disrespect, you might misinterpret the situation and react inappropriately. The significance of this step cannot be overstated. It sets the foundation for everything else you will learn. But what barriers might you face in identifying the source? Often, emotions cloud your judgment. You might feel so hurt or angry that you can't see the situation clearly. You may also struggle with self-doubt, questioning if perhaps you deserve the disrespect. These obstacles make it difficult to focus on the real issue, leading you to react impulsively rather than thoughtfully. If you don't take the time to understand the source, you risk escalating the situation. Misunderstanding someone's intentions can lead to unnecessary conflicts, deteriorating relationships further. Imagine misinterpreting your boss's stress-related criticism as a personal attack, leading you to respond defensively and damaging your professional reputation. Knowing this, you can see why it's so essential to invest the time and emotional energy into understanding the root causes of disrespect. It allows you to approach the situation with a clear mind and a focused strategy. So, take a moment to reflect on your experiences and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And remember, each step builds on the previous one. So stick around to discover how you can transform your reactions and grow from these challenging moments. Neglecting this journey could leave you trapped in a cycle of negativity and missed opportunities for growth. On building on understanding where the disrespect comes from, the next step is to separate your emotions from your reactions. Imagine someone cutting in front of you in a long line. Your immediate reaction might be anger or frustration, but acting on those emotions could lead to an unnecessary confrontation. The goal here is to create a gap between how you feel and how you act. This gap allows you to choose a more measured, thoughtful response. You might be wondering why this is so important. Well, emotions are like quicksand. Once you step into them, it's hard to get out. If you react emotionally, you give control of your actions to the person who disrespected you. Instead, by separating your emotions from your reactions, you take back that control. This means you're not just reacting impulsively, you're responding with intention and clarity. However, this is easier said than done. One big obstacle is the heat of the moment. When you feel disrespected, your natural instinct is to defend yourself, often leading to impulsive actions. Another barrier is the buildup of past grievances. If you've been holding on to past slights, it becomes even harder to separate your emotions from your reactions. These obstacles create a storm of emotions that cloud your judgment. If you don't learn to separate your emotions from your reactions, the consequences can be severe. You might escalate a situation that could have been easily diffused, damaging relationships and your own peace of mind. For instance, Lashing out at a disrespectful coworker could lead to workplace tension, affecting your job performance and overall work environment. The emotional toll can also impact your mental health, leading to constant stress and anxiety. By focusing on separating your emotions from your reactions, you equip yourself with the ability to handle disrespect in a way that preserves your dignity and peace. This paves the way for the next steps in your journey to manage disrespect effectively. On building on the idea of separating your emotions from your reactions, this brings us to focusing on what you can control. Picture a rainy day ruining your plans for a picnic. You can't control the weather, but you can control how you respond to it. Perhaps you decide to have an indoor picnic instead. The goal here is to shift your focus from external factors, over which you have no control, to your own actions and choices, which you can control. Why is this so important? Because it empowers you. When you focus on what you can control, you take responsibility for your own happiness and peace of mind. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the master of your own life. This shift in mindset can make a world of difference in how you handle disrespect. But of course, there are obstacles. One of the biggest barriers is your own mindset. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming others for your feelings and actions. Another obstacle is the influence of others. When those around you focus on external blame, it's tough to stay centered on what you can control. These barriers can make it hard to maintain focus on your own actions and choices. If you don't focus on what you can control, the consequences can be debilitating. You may find yourself constantly frustrated by things you can't change, leading to a sense of helplessness and anger. For example, if a family member frequently disrespects you, focusing on their behavior rather than your response can lead to ongoing conflict and stress. This lack of control can spill over into other areas of your life, affecting your overall well-being. By learning to focus on what you can control, you empower yourself to handle disrespect in a way that preserves your peace and dignity. This sets a strong foundation for the remaining lessons, making it essential to continue watching the video. Missing out on these crucial steps could leave you feeling stuck and unable to effectively manage disrespect in your life. So, please share your thoughts below and don't forget to like the video if you found this helpful. On building on the idea of focusing on what you can control, this brings us to the importance of exercising patience and tolerance. Imagine you're in a crowded place, like a busy train station, and someone accidentally bumps into you without apologizing. Your initial reaction might be irritation, but exercising patience allows you to take a step back and understand that the person might be having a rough day or might not have even realized what they did. The goal here is to cultivate patience and tolerance in your daily interactions, which can help you navigate disrespectful situations with a calm and composed demeanor. This ability to stay patient is significant because it helps you maintain your inner peace and prevents minor incidents from escalating into bigger problems. The obstacles to achieving this are many. One common barrier is your own impatience, especially when you're already stressed or in a hurry. Another is the tendency to take things personally. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to feel attacked, making it difficult to stay tolerant. The presence of chronic stress can also heighten your reactivity, making patience seem like an impossible task. If you don't exercise patience and tolerance, the negative consequences can be severe. Impatience can lead to quick, thoughtless reactions that you might regret later. For instance, snapping at a colleague because of a misunderstanding can create tension at work and harm your professional relationships. Over time, a lack of patience can lead to chronic stress and emotional burnout, affecting your overall quality of life. By learning to exercise patience and tolerance, you give yourself the power to handle disrespect in a way that maintains your dignity and composure. This is crucial as we delve into the remaining lessons in the video. Missing out on this step could leave you feeling overwhelmed and unable to effectively manage disrespectful situations, making it essential to continue watching. On building on the need to exercise patience and tolerance, this brings us to practicing empathy and understanding. Imagine you're at a family gathering and a relative makes a hurtful comment about your career choice. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, try to put yourself in their shoes. Maybe they're coming from a place of concern, or their own experiences with job stability are influencing their words. The goal here is to practice empathy and understanding, which can transform how you perceive and handle disrespect. By doing this, you create a bridge of compassion that can turn potentially negative interactions into opportunities for deeper connection. This is significant because it allows you to see beyond the surface of hurtful comments and understand the underlying reasons, which often has nothing to do with you personally. The obstacles to practicing empathy are numerous. One major barrier is your own emotional state. It's challenging to be empathetic when you feel hurt or attacked. Another obstacle is the other person's behavior, which might be so harsh that it's hard to see past it. Cultural differences and personal biases can also make it difficult to fully understand someone else's perspective. If you don't practice empathy and understanding, the consequences can be damaging. Misunderstandings can deepen, leading to ongoing conflicts and resentment. For example, if you react defensively to your relative's comment, it could lead to a family rift. Over time, a lack of empathy can isolate you from others and make you more prone to negative emotions like anger and bitterness. By practicing empathy and understanding, you not only improve your relationships, but also create a more harmonious environment around you. This is crucial as we delve into the remaining lessons in the video. Missing out on this step could leave you feeling isolated and misunderstood, making it essential to continue watching. If you've found these points helpful so far, please like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. The insights remaining can offer even more valuable strategies for handling disrespect effectively. On building on practicing empathy and understanding, this brings us to using rational thinking over emotional response. Picture yourself in a heated argument with a friend. Your emotions are running high, and you're tempted to say something hurtful in return. Instead, pause and engage your rational mind. Think about the long-term effects of your words and actions. The goal here is to use rational thinking to respond to disrespect. This approach aims to help you maintain control over your actions and reactions, rather than being driven by fleeting emotional impulses. This is crucial because it allows you to navigate conflicts with a clear mind, making decisions that are thoughtful and constructive rather than destructive. Obstacles to rational thinking include the intensity of your emotions in the moment. When you're angry or hurt, it's challenging to take a step back and think logically. Another barrier is the immediate gratification we get from responding emotionally, such as the temporary satisfaction of a sharp retort. Social influences such as peer pressure can also push you toward emotional rather than rational responses. If you don't use rational thinking, the consequences can be severe. Emotional reactions often escalate conflicts, causing lasting damage to relationships. For instance, saying something you regret in the heat of the moment can lead to a rift that's difficult to mend. Over time, this pattern can erode your personal and professional relationships, leaving you isolated and stressed. On building on rational thinking, this brings us to maintaining personal integrity and virtue. Imagine being criticized unfairly at work. Instead of compromising your values to fit in or retaliate, stick to your principles. This reinforces your self-respect and sets a standard for others. The goal here is to uphold your personal integrity, which is vital for long-term self-esteem and respect from others. Obstacles include external pressures to conform or retaliate, and internal fears of being judged or ostracized. If you compromise your integrity, you risk long-term internal conflict and the erosion of your self-worth, making it harder to face and overcome disrespect. On building on personal integrity, this brings us to setting boundaries respectfully. Suppose a friend frequently makes sarcastic jokes at your expense. Calmly explain how their comments affect you and set clear boundaries. The goal is to assertively communicate your limits without creating hostility, which is important for maintaining healthy relationships and self-respect. Obstacles include the fear of confrontation and the potential for the other person to react offensively. Without setting boundaries, you risk ongoing disrespect and deteriorating relationships, ultimately affecting your mental health. On building on setting boundaries, this brings us to reflecting on your own expectations. Think about a time you felt disrespected because someone didn't meet your expectations. Were those expectations fair and communicated clearly? The goal is to reassess and manage your expectations to avoid unnecessary conflicts and disappointments. Obstacles include ingrained beliefs and communication gaps. If you don't reflect on your expectations, you may continue to experience repeated frustrations and misunderstandings, hindering your ability to handle disrespect constructively. These steps are essential for developing resilience and maintaining your well-being. On building on reflecting on your own expectations, this brings us to using disrespect as an opportunity for self-improvement. Imagine being criticized for a project you worked hard on. Instead of feeling defeated, see it as a chance to learn and enhance your skills. The goal here is to turn negative experiences into motivation for growth and development. This approach is significant because it helps you transform challenges into stepping stones, fostering resilience and continuous improvement. Obstacles include the natural inclination to take criticism personally and the initial sting of negative feedback. It's challenging to view disrespect as constructive when you're emotionally invested in your work or actions. Overcoming the ego's defense mechanisms and shifting your perspective to see the value in criticism requires conscious effort and practice. If you don't use disrespect as a learning tool, the consequences can be detrimental. You may develop a fixed mindset, avoiding feedback and missing out on opportunities for growth. This can lead to stagnation, both personally and professionally. You'll remain susceptible to recurring issues and misunderstandings, unable to evolve past your current challenges. On building on self-improvement, this brings us to understanding the source of disrespect. Suppose your colleague often interrupts you during meetings. Instead of immediately reacting, consider why they might be doing this. Are they stressed, insecure, or simply unaware? The goal is to identify the root cause of disrespect, which is crucial for addressing it effectively and empathetically. Obstacles include your own biases and assumptions, which can cloud your judgment. It's easy to jump to conclusions without considering the other person's perspective. Additionally, the other party might not be forthcoming about their reasons, making it harder to understand their behavior. If you don't understand the source, you risk misinterpreting actions and intentions, leading to unnecessary conflicts and continued disrespect. This misunderstanding can strain relationships and create a hostile environment. On building on identifying the source, this brings us to separating emotion from reaction. Picture receiving a harsh email from a client. Instead of replying in anger, take a moment to cool down and think clearly. The goal here is to manage your emotional responses, ensuring that your actions are deliberate and thoughtful. Obstacles include the immediate emotional surge that can cloud your thinking and prompt impulsive reactions. Overcoming this impulse requires self-awareness and techniques to calm your mind, such as deep breathing or taking a short walk. If you can't separate emotion from reaction, you risk escalating conflicts and damaging relationships with hasty, emotionally driven responses. This can lead to regret and the need to repair trust and communication later. On building on managing emotions, this brings us to focusing on what you can control. Imagine your flight is delayed, causing frustration. Instead of stressing over the situation, concentrate on how you spend the time waiting. The goal is to shift your focus from uncontrollable external factors to your own actions and mindset. Obstacles include the tendency to fixate on problems outside your control and the influence of others' negativity. It's challenging to break free from a reactive mindset, especially in high-stress situations. Failing to focus on what you can control can lead to chronic stress and a sense of helplessness, affecting your ability to handle life's challenges effectively. By mastering this, you maintain your inner peace and resilience, crucial for navigating disrespect and other adversities. On building on controlling focus, this brings us to exercising patience and tolerance. Think of a time when someone kept interrupting you. Instead of snapping, you chose to be patient and gave them a chance to express themselves. The goal is to foster an understanding and less reactive mindset, crucial for maintaining harmony and reducing conflict. Obstacles include personal impatience and the tendency to take interruptions personally. Overcoming these requires practice and a shift in perspective, viewing interruptions as opportunities for better communication rather than affronts. If you lack patience and tolerance, you risk escalating minor issues into major conflicts, damaging relationships, and creating a stressful environment. Patience helps you manage disrespect calmly, improving your interactions and overall well-being. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. Continue watching to learn more about handling disrespect, as missing out on the upcoming tips could leave you without the tools needed to effectively manage such situations. On building on patience and tolerance, this brings us to practicing empathy and understanding. Imagine you're at a family dinner, and a relative makes a comment that feels disrespectful. Instead of reacting defensively, try to put yourself in their shoes. Maybe they're dealing with their own stress or insecurities. The goal is to foster a deeper connection by understanding the underlying emotions and reasons behind someone's behavior. Practicing empathy is significant because it transforms potentially negative interactions into opportunities for stronger relationships. It helps you see beyond the surface, recognizing that others may have their own struggles. By doing this, you can respond more compassionately and wisely, rather than escalating the situation. Obstacles include your own emotional state, which might make it hard to feel empathy when you're hurt or angry. Additionally, the other person's behavior can be harsh, making it difficult to approach them with understanding. Cultural differences and personal biases can also hinder your ability to empathize. Failing to practice empathy can lead to misunderstandings and continued conflicts. You may miss out on resolving underlying issues, leading to a cycle of disrespect and resentment. This not only strains relationships, but also creates a hostile environment, making it harder to maintain your peace and well-being. On building on empathy, this brings us to using rational thinking over emotional response. Imagine a heated argument with a friend. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a moment to think about the long-term effects of your words. The goal is to maintain control over your emotions, ensuring your actions are rational and constructive. Rational thinking is crucial because it allows you to navigate conflicts more effectively. By grounding your responses in reason rather than emotion, you can prevent unnecessary escalation and find more sustainable solutions. Obstacles include intense emotions that cloud your judgment and the immediate gratification that comes from emotional responses. Social pressures and the need to defend your ego can also make it challenging to stay rational. If you rely solely on emotional responses, you risk damaging relationships and creating more conflicts. Impulsive reactions can lead to regret and the need to repair trust later on, making it harder to maintain positive and healthy interactions. On building on rational thinking, this brings us to maintaining personal integrity and virtue. Imagine you're unfairly criticized at work. Instead of retaliating or compromising your values, you maintain your integrity and respond with dignity. The goal is to uphold your principles regardless of how others treat you. Maintaining personal integrity is vital because it boosts self-respect and sets a standard for others to follow. It ensures that your actions are aligned with your values, fostering trust and respect in your relationships. Obstacles include the temptation to retaliate when feeling disrespected and the fear of appearing weak. It can be challenging to stay true to your values when faced with unfair treatment or peer pressure to conform. Failing to maintain integrity can lead to regret, loss of self-respect, and damaged relationships. Compromising your values for short-term relief or acceptance undermines your character and can create long-term negative consequences, making it harder to manage disrespect effectively. On building on integrity, this brings us to setting boundaries respectfully. Suppose a friend constantly makes sarcastic jokes at your expense. Instead of enduring it, communicate your feelings respectfully and set clear boundaries. The goal is to ensure that your relationships are healthy and mutually respectful. Setting boundaries is significant because it protects your well-being and ensures that others treat you with the respect you deserve. It empowers you to take control of your interactions and fosters healthier relationships. Obstacles include the fear of confrontation and the possibility of upsetting others. It can be difficult to assert yourself, especially if you're worried about damaging the relationship. Failing to set boundaries can lead to ongoing disrespect and resentment. Without clear boundaries, you might feel taken advantage of or disrespected, leading to strained relationships and decreased self-esteem. On building on setting boundaries respectfully, this brings us to reflecting on your own expectations. Imagine you have high expectations from your spouse, expecting them to remember every minor detail of your needs. When they forget something small, you feel disrespected. The goal here is to understand and manage your own expectations to avoid unnecessary disappointment and conflict. Reflecting on your own expectations is significant because it helps you distinguish between reasonable and unreasonable demands. By reassessing your expectations, you can cultivate a more balanced and understanding perspective, which is essential for healthy relationships. Obstacles include your own ingrained beliefs and the influence of societal or familial norms that shape what you expect from others. Additionally, your emotional state can cloud your judgment, making it hard to see when your expectations are too high. Failing to reflect on your own expectations can lead to constant disappointment and strained relationships. Unrealistic expectations can set others up for failure, creating a cycle of resentment and conflict. This not only harms your relationships, but also impacts your overall happiness and peace of mind. On building on reflecting on your own expectations, this brings us to using disrespect as an opportunity for self-improvement. Imagine receiving harsh feedback on a project at work. Instead of feeling offended, view it as a chance to improve your skills and performance. The goal is to transform moments of disrespect into opportunities for growth and self-betterment. Using disrespect as an opportunity for self-improvement is crucial because it empowers you to turn negative experiences into positive outcomes. It fosters resilience and a growth mindset, essential for personal and professional development. Obstacles include taking things personally and allowing your ego to get in the way of seeing the constructive aspects of criticism. It can be challenging to stay objective and focus on growth when feeling hurt or disrespected. If you fail to use disrespect as an opportunity for self-improvement, you risk staying stagnant, missing valuable lessons that could lead to growth. This can result in a fixed mindset, preventing you from reaching your full potential and handling future disrespect more effectively. By reflecting on your own expectations and using disrespect for self-improvement, you can transform negative interactions into opportunities for growth. If you found this helpful, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned for the remaining points, as they are crucial for mastering the art of handling disrespect and achieving a more peaceful, resilient life. On building on using disrespect as an opportunity for self-improvement, this brings us to maintaining personal integrity and virtue. Picture a scenario where a colleague spreads false rumors about you at work. The goal is to stay true to your values and act with integrity, despite the negative behavior of others. Maintaining personal integrity and virtue is significant because it defines your character and earns you respect over time. Acting with integrity ensures that you remain consistent with your values, which is crucial for self-respect and long-term well-being. Obstacles include the temptation to retaliate or compromise your values to fit in or gain short-term advantages. Peer pressure and the fear of standing alone can make it challenging to uphold your integrity. If you fail to maintain personal integrity during moments of disrespect, you risk losing your self-respect and the respect of others. Compromising your values for short-term gains can lead to long-term regret and a weakened sense of self-worth. This erosion of integrity can also affect your relationships and professional reputation. On building on maintaining personal integrity, this brings us to setting boundaries respectfully. Imagine a friend frequently makes sarcastic remarks that hurt your feelings. The goal here is to communicate your boundaries clearly and respectfully, ensuring that others understand and respect your limits. Setting boundaries respectfully is crucial because it protects your emotional well-being and fosters healthy relationships. Clear boundaries help others understand your needs and expectations, reducing the likelihood of future disrespect. But obstacles include the fear of confrontation and the possibility of straining relationships. It can be difficult to assert your boundaries without feeling guilty or worried about offending others. If you fail to set boundaries respectfully, you may find yourself in situations where your needs and feelings are consistently overlooked. This can lead to increased stress, resentment, and a sense of powerlessness. Over time, the lack of boundaries can erode your self-esteem and damage your relationships. By maintaining personal integrity and setting boundaries respectfully, you create a foundation for handling disrespect effectively. This not only enhances your self-respect but also strengthens your relationships. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more content on personal growth and handling life's challenges. Together, let's continue on this journey towards a more resilient and fulfilling life.